Jai Bhim, Jai Bhim.
Thank you for giving us the interview for
Yeah.
Dalit Camera. And we have been just recently started following your Twitter. And I
Uh,
saw so many datas. People are asking for datas on the ground, political parties.
mm,
But I saw so many datas you have been sharing. And when I said, I called my friends and said, see, there is a person from Karnataka is giving data. They said, yes, he talks with data. He has
mm,
a very high knowledge on data. So
yeah.
therefore, in this present context of the Supreme Court judgment, I
Uh,
want to give your opinion on it.
okay. So, first of all, thanks a lot for calling me to Dalit Camera. Dalit Camera is one account which I have been following for a very long time. I watch all the videos in Dalit Camera, and I sincerely admire your work, because I have seen the work which you people do. And when you asked me, I was 100% sure I will talk to you, because I myself admire your work. So that's why. So that
Thank,
is the first thing. Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Yeah. So the first part is that regarding the data part, yes, I have been collecting the data regarding the marginalized communities for a long time, almost a couple of years now, and I have built a huge database on representational issues. And then the subcategorization issue is also one of the important topics where data is needed to substantiate whether subcategorization is needed or not. Unfortunately, what is happening right now is that many people are talking in air. So they talk something, but there is no data to substantiate. Like for example, Honorable Supreme Court also talked about creamy layer, but there was no data. What percentage of IAS officers' kids are going becoming IAS? Where is the data? Nobody knows. Okay, so that is, well, actually, I will tell you, one prof from JNU has done a study, and then he is telling that there are hardly anybody going from the IAS families. So it is not transferring like what is being created. The myth created that there is generational transfer from one generation to another generation. Like the IAS officers' kids are only becoming IAS. So that is not the thing which is happening actually. Yeah.
Right. About the data, it's not there. And of course, there's no data. But I thought it would be very important.
Hmm.
So, but political parties, SC,
Hmm.
SC, MLAs and MPs,
Hmm.
but they contest, their son contest. So could you throw upon a light on that data?
See, that is something like a political reservation. So political reservation, see, actually what happens is that if you see not just the scheduled caste families, it is across all. The dynasties exist in all categories. So in politics. So it is not restricted to only one community like SC, ST. So that's a larger issue. How to solve that? Because see, the politics is a different ball game. Like for example, first of all, you require to capture the imagination of the people. So that is the first thing. The second thing is you require money, huh, to contest the elections. So then the third thing is that you also need to deliver on the ground. So once somebody delivers on the ground, their families will have an advantage. So in that sense, many dynasties are getting created in every caste. It is not like it is restricted only to scheduled caste. If you go to even OBCs, you will see that pattern. Even in Brahmins, you will see that pattern, that the same caste, same families continue to dominate. And that is the same thing even in the judiciary also. If you see judiciary, the same families continue to be judges. Their fathers were chief justices, then they will be chief justice now. So because see, they know how to get through that. So because the social capital which they have, it helps them to achieve those positions. So they already have a significant social capital with them, which is helping them. Okay, so that breaking that one is quite difficult. So what I am telling you is that a political reservation, making it applicable to only few people, that is like I don't know how to do it still. What I was thinking of is like is the educational reservation and the reservations in public jobs, like there is a government jobs where there is competition, where everybody competes. Yes, there we can actually avoid inequalities, like we can avoid people the same families taking all these things, so benefits. So those same caste monopoly, one caste monopolizing the entire government service jobs. All those things can be done through policies. What I was thinking is that the first thing is that if you see the seven bench judgment, so it is favoring subcategorization of scheduled caste. So if you see scheduled caste has many castes within it. So the Supreme Court tells that the castes are not homogeneous. Homogeneous in the sense that from the point of backwardness. Backwardness means like if you measure inter se backwardness, just like for OBCs you measure backwardness, if you measure the same thing within subcaste in the scheduled caste communities, you will find out that there are a lot of communities which are left out. I will give a small example. Like for example, it is very easy to find out that among the scheduled caste, there is still a substantial section of the scheduled caste who are engaged in manual scavenging, leather work. So such menial jobs are there. So obviously, when you look into their social backwardness, you will come to know that they are socially backward. So this is the entire point of debate, even in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, or in all these places, the main subcategorization involved is between Madiga and Malas. Madiga and Walayas in Karnataka, Madiga and Mala in Andhra. Madigas are actually traditional leather workers. They used to handle the skin of the cow, which was barred from. So because of that, they had a religious sanction. Because see, handling anything related to cow skin or eating beef, all these things were considered to be religiously impure, okay, in the scriptures. So what happened, these communities got segregated. They were not allowed inside temples, they were not allowed inside schools. So as a result of this, there was a big issue in the sense that they got into backwardness. Like for example, they were not given education, so because of that they became educationally backward. Because they were educationally backward, they did not go and become graduates. They higher education was inaccessible to them, and if you want to get into government, you have to be a graduate and you have to compete in exams. So because of that, that led to inadequate representation in the government services. So all are linked up. The root cause is pollution and impurity discrimination, but everything is linked up in case of scheduled caste. So if you examine Madiga and then Mala representation, you will clearly come to know that, see, there is a real need for subcategorization. That is why the Madhika community is been asking for subcategorization, is because there is a real issue in their representation. I will just tell you, I have taken this data from a book called Dalit Studies. Okay, it's a very comprehensive book written by Ram Narayan S. Rawat and K. Satyanarayan. This is from chapter number 9, Social Justice and Question of Categorization of Scheduled Caste Reservation. It talks about Usha Mehra Commission report, which went into Andhra Pradesh subcategorization. So here you have the data for all the government jobs, and then what is the representation in every service. So I will just read out some of the things and you will be shocked to see that. See, in in Andhra Pradesh, the total representation of scheduled caste employees in Andhra Pradesh in 1991, okay, Mala community were 69% of the total employees, SC employees. Madigas were just 22.7%. While if you see the population, no, Madiga and Malas almost they are equal. But here you can see that the representational index is Malas to Madigas is almost 3 is to 1. One is 70%, another one is 23%. There are other communities like relief, they are also very less. If you see central government and public sector undertakings, Mala communities had 55% of the positions. Madigas had 34.6% of the positions. State public sector undertaking, Malas occupied 65% of the jobs, 32.4% were there with Madigas. In local bodies, Malas were 43.7, Madigas were 37.3. In university departments, Malas were 60%, Madigas were on just 35%. In very critical positions like IAS and IPS positions, Madigas community state cadre of IAS officers held 76.2% of the positions. Madigas were just holding 23.8%. In IPS, okay, so the central, even in central, the same position you will see. See, what we are seeing is that reservations are good. It's not like bad. But if it is getting monopolized by only one section, then it is not an equitable solution. See, how is scheduled caste reservations given? Scheduled caste reservations are given based on population. How did this 15% came up? Because your population is 15%. But if this entire 15% representation is taken away by one or two communities, is it correct? So that is the logic which the Supreme Court is also telling when it comes to subcategorization. I will give you one more example, the example of Minas. Minas from Rajasthan. If you go and see the selections of Minas in the civil services examination, it is whopping almost like 70%. 70% of the jobs are occupied by Minas. And I'm telling you, in few years back in 2007, this was just 36%. Now it has crossed even 55% currently. What happens is this, once the community knows how to crack these exams, they acquire the knack of cracking and getting these jobs, and the social capital within those communities know they act, and then they become very powerful. Okay, so the networking, everything works. They know where to go and get the tuitions, where to go and get educated, all these things. And this creates a big inequality among the groups. Okay, so that is where internal reservation is needed, because what will happen is that internal reservation will bridge the gap. See, internal reservation is what? You will just allocate certain seats for this community, Madiga community. You will give them a cutoff. You are not taking a completely dead guy. You will just give them some relaxation in cutoff. That fellow will be able to clear. So basically, his competitor is a Mala who would have got, but now he will get because of internal reservation. That is the thing. But both Malas and Madigas, no, they are getting cutoff differential with respect to a Brahmin or an upper caste. So that is there. So the argument, see, when I was putting this argument in the Twitter, many people tell that Madigas don't have merit. So that question does not arise at all because
So
the
who tells this actually
yeah,
from
some of the
SC
SC community
community?
people, yeah, because they don't have merit, they don't study. See, then see, if this is the kind of arguments which we are listening, then all the seats should go to a Brahmin, no, by this argument of merit. Why you have to give only to the Mala? So see, this merit argument is completely a farce when it comes to the subcategorization. So actually, we should allow these communities which are neglected to come up, so that, see, what happens is that, see, even Ambedkar Saab was telling that, see, why you require representation in IAS, why a community requires representation in IAS, IPS, because it's like a status for them. They will tell that, see, we have our man there. They respect that. Okay, most of the times, no, when a person is sitting from that community, they feel proud that, see, one of our person is sitting there. Okay, so he will be able to help us. Okay, whether he's going to help or not, that's a different question. But that sense of pride will be there. And also, whatever said and done, if a community person is there in that, he will try to do something in whatever limited capacity he can do. Okay, so that has been proven now, even in many times, because, see, even if they don't do it openly, they see that kind of a thinking is there to allocate certain funds to that community. So because most of the, see, diversity is thinking will be there, innovative ideas will come up. So it is always better to bring in diverse people into the governance, which will help the overall decision making process. So that is where the merit argument is defeated. Okay, so my thing is that, see, even if you see the number of graduates, see, one more data which shows is the graduates in Andhra. Okay, so Like for example, there are around in all scheduled caste in Andhra Pradesh, if you take, there are 420 graduates, that's all, per 10,000. That is very low. Okay, but if you see Malas, they have 551 graduates. If you see Madigas, 317 graduates. So what happens is that, see, the pool is very less. The pool in Madigas who are becoming graduate is very less. So what happens is that the competition, when they go for competition, they will not be able to compete. So, but moment to introduce internal reservation, what will happen? They will be able to get that seat easily. And you will start seeing more representation within the government services from the Madhika community. Okay, the same thing in Tamil Nadu also. Tamil Nadu, if you see, the overall graduates in Tamil Nadu is 417 per 10,000. Okay, in Pallan community, it is 467. In Adi Dravida, 445. Pariyan, it is 421. Arundhati are very, very low, 256. Chakliyan, 137. Madari, that is Madigas only, I think, 97. So, very, very low graduate pool is there in these communities. See, it is very easy to argue that, see, these communities don't study, they don't have access to education. But the real thing is that, see, you should also look at their socio-economic background. The socio-economic background clearly shows that these communities mostly are Safai Karmacharis, they are into manual scavenging or leather work. Okay, so if you one statistics I will tell you, which I had pulled up recently from the Nagmohan Das committee report from the Karnataka, which talks about the Safai Karmachari in Karnataka. So if you see there, in the Safai Karmacharis, yeah, I'll tell you, 86.3% of Safai Karmacharis were from Madiga community, one community in Karnataka. The same pattern will be there even in Telangana, even in anywhere. So this communities which were doing this work earlier on, like manual scavenging work, they continue to do the same thing. And then 95.8% of this community, like Madhika community or Safai Karmachari, were extremely low income group. And 96.3% of them did not have any asset. So this is coming from a famous Justice Nagmohan Das Commission report in Karnataka. They tell that these people don't have assets. They are extremely low income group. They don't have this thing education. Enrollments are also less. Okay, like for example, only 70.4% of them enroll in schools. Okay, so and the surprising thing is that out of the total school going children, only 15% of them are receiving any government facilities. That is, the government facilities are also not reaching them. And 52.8% of them suffer from malnutrition. Okay, so this is the kind of data which we are seeing. And then I really feel sad that this community, especially the Madhiga community, is not being considered for subcategorization, because see, if you cannot subcategorize this community, which is the poorest of the poor, which is struggling even to educate the kids in a regular school, which community will be eligible for subcategorization? I don't understand that. So these are the larger problems in this, because what I am seeing is that uh, some communities are trapped in the age old occupations, and then they are not able to come out of this vicious circle. So only when we break that vicious circle and bring this masses, and we are talking of a huge chunk. See, we are talking of 50% of SC population. We are not talking of a small population. Okay, they are stuck in all these things. So we have to break that cycle, and then we have to get them out to the regular stream where they can, where their kids can start competing, where their kids can got getting they become graduates, they become IAS officers. So, but right now what is happening is that opportunity itself is not there. So the only thing is that, see, what I feel is that only by doing this subcategorization and allocating budget, because see, in scheduled caste community, the budget is allocated as per the population. So moment the population is allocated to Madigas based on their subpopulation, and also internal reservation is given, and then political reservation when they have their own MLAs, MPs. So they will be able to uplift these people. Okay, so much better than others. So that is what I personally feel. And then the Supreme Court's direction that empirical data should be there is completely there in this case. So it is not that we don't have empirical data. Empirical data is completely available. Okay, so it shows that they are way behind. Madigas are way behind the Malas in every aspect. So the subcategorization has to be done. Subcategorization, there is a, so the thing is that I don't know why governments are not doing it, because in spite of having empirical data, and I will tell you one more thing here. In government in 1965, there was one committee called Lakur Committee, set up by Lal Bahadur Shastri, the then Prime Minister. The committee looked into which are all communities have developed among the scheduled caste, because see, originally the idea in scheduled caste list is not subcategorization. If you see Article 341, Article 342, it tells include or exclude. That is, you can actually delete a caste. You can delete a caste in the list. So the idea was, which all caste becomes advanced, you keep deleting it and then allow the rest to take benefits. In 1965, the Lakur committee found that Malas were advanced and they recommended for deletion. Now, you don't delete the caste also, and you don't subcategorize also. How is it correct? And you don't give political reservation also. You should give, or you should do something correct, huh? For these communities to come up. Otherwise, how will they come up? They require a hand holding from the government. And see, this is taxpayers' money. Should the taxpayers' money go for the development of only one community? Is that equality? Ideally, the equality means that it should go to equal, at least proportionate equality. It should go proportionately to them. But here, what we are seeing is that it is becoming a monopoly. So that kind of a monopoly we cannot allow, and subcategorization is the only way out for all these things.
Sir, so there are two arguments which they keep. One is it divides the scheduled caste,
Yeah.
and second thing is they say that it dismantles the entire Dalit movement.
No. That is a completely a wrong argument. See, the first thing is that, and this argument, when has it come now? It has come now after the subcategorization order. It has come. Correct. Huh? Do you think Dalits have voted uniformly for only one party in the last 50 years, 70 years? Never. It has never happened. If that would have happened, Tamil Nadu would have had a Dalit chief minister today. Because Tamil Nadu, how much? What is the population? 30% hai. Huh? So it has never happened. See, Dalits vote based on their own thinking, based on their own ideologies. They have different ideologies. Okay, so it is not like the ideologies are uniform. Okay, so there is disunity in thinking even among Dalits. Okay, so it is not that it is uniform. So, but the thing, the argument which is being put, that subcategorization will hit the Dalit disunity. See, if a developed Dalit is there, let us assume, huh? What is his role? He has to come and develop the undeveloped Dalits. No, if we develop the undeveloped Dalits, then obviously they will be with them. If some Brahmin comes and develop them, they'll go with that Brahmin. Like the same thing in the Christian logic, correct? Like why are Dalits converting to Christianity? Because they want something from there. Okay, they are getting something from that. So because of that, they are going. There is nothing wrong in that. But what I am telling is, but the thing is that until and unless you give something to them for so that they can get out of this vicious circle, huh? Okay, it is impossible to tell that this Dalit unity will be there. See, if there is inequality among various groups, will there be Dalit unity? There will be no Dalit unity. If inequality exists, like for example, Malas and Madigas. Okay, why? Like for example, I'll tell you, if one group dominates the government service and the other group cannot get its work done from the government, will it feel empowered or will it feel sad? They will feel they'll feel disappointed. So they will try to get their people. See, this is how the democracy works. It is so only when there is equal representation from all the subcastes or subgroups, then Dalit unity is a reality. Why Dalit unity can be there under an upper caste leadership also? No, is it possible? It is possible. So what I am telling, see, all these things are illogical arguments which people are bringing just to confuse people about subcategorization. What is subcategorization? It gives you some internal reservation for people. It will help them to clear the cutoffs. Okay, it will give them seats. Otherwise, it would have gone to other Dalit, nothing else. So is it wrong? There is no wrong. There is nothing wrong because see, otherwise the one community would have one community will dominate that, nothing else. Okay, so I don't see it will affect the Dalit unity or anything.
Okay. So we have
And
a, yes, sir, please go ahead.
yeah, please, yeah.
So, one last thing for this
Hmm.
content. How is the status of Dalits in the habitat or on the ground? How are they living? Are they unity? They are living with the homogeneous, what we call it. Are they homogeneously living together, marrying together? There is marriage relation,
I see
everything.
that is a clear thing. See, that is clearly brought out everywhere. See, the divide between the left and right scheduled caste is enormous in southern India. I don't know about the northern parts. Southern India, it is very clear that they don't marry. Even if marriage happens, it is very extreme cases, and we have seen cases of honor killings also.
In
So,
Karnataka also, Karnataka, Andhra
Karnataka
Pradesh.
also, we have seen cases of honor killings where when a Madiga boy fell in love with a Holea girl, that boy was killed. So that is a kind because see why does that happen? Because see Madigas are considered to be very low because they were considered to be manual scavengers, they were doing very dirty work, menial jobs. So their social status is very low. So the families think that see they are like very low in social status. If we give our daughters there, they will not be able to marry their other daughters and all in their community. The same arguments which they give for upper caste honor killings. It is the same arguments. So what I feel is that see the the discrimination exists within the scheduled caste. It is there, and also in the Supreme Court order, both Justice Gawai and then Justice Chandrachud have brought in various arguments on this. That see discrimination, we can't tell that discrimination does not exist within the scheduled caste. They don't intermarry, and then there is like some caste like for example I know in Mysore and all some caste they don't same caste within scheduled caste they don't give us water in the same cup, all those things. Okay, so those things happen, it is there. So to deny that there is no discrimination within scheduled caste, it is like moving away from reality. That is like substance versus form. Okay, so in substance, there is discrimination, there is inequality. And again, you tell me, can you compare a Safai Karmachari kid to others? They can never be compared. See, they, their conditions, the way they live, that can never be compared to other communities. So that is what I was telling. You don't require data to prove that they are backward. Okay, you do whatever caste census you want. Every time you'll get that they are the backward. How many ever cash census you do? Okay, because see, this has happened for past hundreds of years. Okay, they are backward, they are struggling to come up. See, what I am telling is that I know many families from the Madhika community. What they tell, they want their kids to educate themselves and then go to some government job or any other thing. They don't want them to continue in these old professions, all those things, because see, which mother wants their kids to be like that? You tell me, huh? So it is. See, no mother want, no parents want them their kids to do that. They want their kids to be educated, but is that education available? So
Very
see,
costly.
it's very costly, and whether they are allowed. See, I did one data survey in Bangalore where UDIS data I took, and then I just checked how much scheduled caste are enrolled in all top elite English schools. It is just 8%. OBC is also including, I'm telling, in all top English schools. Okay, even in Christian schools, SCs are not allowed. You know that? There are enrollments of SCs are very less, even in scheduled caste, even in minority schools. Okay, so what I am telling is that, see, these are larger issues. So and it cannot be solved just by telling that you give education and other things. If education would have been given, see, education could have been given to all SCs. No, that were the arguments even which was put in Constituent Assembly. You give education to Dalits, why do you want reservation? So you take education, you then automatically see, this is from the point of distributive justice. Okay, see, there is something called distributive justice. So if you want to give justice to some community, you have to give them decision making powers. So, and if you are finding that that is not being given, see, I am telling you, 1965 Lakur committee told that you remove Mala community. How many years now? 60, 40, 50 years are over now. So again, how much they would have prospered in that 40, 50 years? How many kids would have lost their seats? If subcategorization would have implemented long back, so many kids would have got benefited. I am telling you, if you look at, see, yours is only one data point.
Yes,
If
sir.
you go to cash census, see, cash census have been conducted by the Britishers. 10
Yes,
years
sir.
cash census is there from 1871 to 1941. It is available. You please
Okay.
go into it.
Okay.
You will clearly find that there is disparity.
Okay.
There is disparity. See, the people who tell that the scheduled caste groups are a homogeneous groups,
Mm.
who are telling that they are homogeneous, they are mostly the
Yeah.
upper caste among the scheduled caste. The
Yeah.
lower caste, they never tell that there is homogeneity because they
Yeah.
know that there is disparity.
Yes.
See, we cannot tell that there is no economic backwardness among scheduled caste communities, or the social backwardness is also there. Some communities experience more discrimination. Some communities, they don't have access to education. So equality, equal access is not available. Disparity exists. And some communities, sadly, they are restricted to some occupations.
Mm.
That is
So,
also there.
yes. So one thing which I wanted, I'm very sorry. I'm from Tamil Nadu. I was born and brought up in the chocolate community. And
Hmm.
I am very sad to say, after subcategorization,
Hmm.
subquota, a quota
Hmm.
which was received, special preference was given to Chakliers of 3% reservation.
Hmm.
After the judgment has come, Madhigas are protesting to implement in Andhra
Okay.
Pradesh on the ground.
Huh.
Sadly, Tamil Nadu Arundhatiar movement is not responding. They say we are happy with this and we'll continue with this. So I
Okay.
said I was very shocked. I was
Hmm.
very shocked because there are, as you said. So I just wanted to throw some light on this two different kinds of practice which was exist. One was existed, one is existing. That is
Hmm.
3% Arundhati reservation, and then the sub-classification based on social inequality.
Yeah.
How do you see these both?
See, the thing is that, see, what I see in Tamil Nadu, what is happening is that, like, we have not seen the cash data completely. See, I was just looking at one data point which has come yesterday in the Hindu, okay, which tells which communities has the graduates, like the distribution of graduates per 10,000 cash population. I will just tell you, in Tamil Nadu, in all scheduled caste, no, the total number of graduates is 417 per 10,000. Okay. So, but if you look at other communities, like for example, Arundhatiyar, which you were talking about, it is 256, very less. Chakliyan, it is 137, which is much lesser than Arundhatiyar.
Yeah.
Madari, there is one more community, Madari, 97, which is way, way, way lower.
Mm.
Okay. So then even Adi Dravida, it is not very, very high, 445. Okay. Pariyan is 421 and Pallan is 426. So what I am telling you is, see, you need to have this caste data to see who are more backward. Then you can place them in A, B, C, D category or different categories without seeing anybody this data and then telling that only I will give Arundhati R. That may not be a correct idea according to me. Because see, if Arundhati they are backward. That is clearly visible from the number of graduates. That there is no dispute. But what my worry is that there may be other castes.
Mm.
Okay, so why I am telling you there will be a problem here, because see, the entire Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh belt has this unique practice of left and right scheduled caste. The so-called left scheduled caste, which all caste comes under them, they are actually socially backward classes. They will never be educationally forward, or they will never be able to occupy large number of seats. Okay, wherever you go. In Tamil Nadu also, you will have a large section of left scheduled caste who will be undeveloped. So only when you pull out all this data and then club together, you will be able to form a cohesive group of the left scheduled caste, and those left scheduled caste have to be necessarily subcategorized into a different group. So I am able to see only few data points now. I have not seen the others, because Tamil Nadu, I don't know whether they have this data set also. Okay, at the caste level, subcaste level.
So, tell me one thing. When data, one of the person was telling there is already data for
Yeah,
SCSTs
yeah.
census. That data census of 2011, is that enough to study everything, or there should be separate another data?
See, this is a question which is a very difficult question, because see, the census which is there, which is being done every 10 years, 2011, 2000, before that, every 10 years it has happened. It has measured the backwardness of the scheduled caste as a group, as an entire group, but they have not measured the inter-se backwardness. If I want to find out who is more backward within the scheduled caste, like Arundhatiyar or Chakliyan or Pariyan or Pallan, you cannot make out. That kind of a data is not available. Who is represented more within the government? Like what I was talking about, Mala and Madigas. Have you ever seen such a data? You see, those data points have to be collected as
So,
part of the census.
so is it not available for the Andhras? You were referring to some data.
Andhra, it is available.
Andhra Pradesh complete, it is available because of the committee, Janath Usha Mehra
Yeah,
committee
because
report
Usha Mehra Commission report, it is available completely.
available. And
They have
Karnataka,
see in Andhra, the question of empirical data is not there, because 3-4 commissions have collected. In Karnataka also, Sadashiv Commission has collected.
in Tamil Nadu also, I have to find out that one.
Yeah, in Tamil Nadu, if the data is there, then they have to immediately make it public.
No. Actually, so sorry. You are talking about the commission report, but one of the person was saying commission report is completely different from the census
Yeah.
report.
Census data is also there. Okay, census data is also available. So where we can go and analyze graduates, and then what type of workers they are there, whether what occupations they are there. So those kind of analysis can be done. But if you want to do an analysis like among the graduates, who are more medical, who are there in more medical colleges, who are more IAS, who are more IPS, that kind of a data will not be there. That has to be
Oh,
collected by the commission.
okay. So, okay, sir. Another thing. You have to explain it in a layman's perspective to
Hmm.
make people understand the Andhra Pradesh model, the positive and negative, And the Tamil Nadu model, positive and the negative.
See, Andhra Pradesh model, positive and negative. See, the thing is that Andhra Pradesh model, what I see is that it is more comprehensive. See, they are bringing in more, they have done a detailed analysis and then they have found out that these castes are backward. Okay, in terms of, and then there are certain castes which are forward. Like, for example, in terms of inadequate representation, main data which they have taken is inadequate representation. Inadequate representation means who are represented more in government. If a caste is represented better in government services, then they are considered as forward only. So based on that kind of a data, they have taken few castes and then they have put them. But in Tamil Nadu, we really do not know who is represented in the government itself. You have seen any data like which caste, like Pallan, Adi Dravida, Pariyan, who is represented more? We have never seen that data. So only when that data is made public, we can argue that these communities are underrepresented, like Chaklians are underrepresented, you give them internal reservation. Without the data, we cannot tell anything.
Okay, so is there a way forward?
Hmm.
If you suggest, if in your opinion, what would
Hmm.
you, what would be your suggestion for Arundhati movement
Yeah.
to collect data or to safeguard this 6% and not go forward?
No, they have to collect data. Okay. So, and then see, the thing is that if the data will show that there is a change to be done in the subcategorization, then they have to do it. Okay, so without data, how can you tell that Arundhatiyars are okay with this? Okay, so the thing is that the gap may be much bigger. So until and unless you collect data, so whether with the 6%, let us assume that Arundhatiyars are 6% within the government services, whether they can get their work done with 6% alone, or they require the help of other left scheduled caste to get their work done. That is the question, important question, no? If more left scheduled castes come in who are marginalized, they can become a group
Hmm.
and they will be a political force. See, when all these left scheduled castes become a political force, then they can exert pressure democratically and they can get their work done. So that is how the democracy works. Okay. So what I feel is that we have to really in Tamil Nadu, the problem is identification of this left scheduled caste who have been left out. I seriously feel that it cannot be only one Arundhatiyar. Now, who all are included? I have not seen the list. Who all are included in this Arundhatiyar?
Some seven castes are included. Arundhati, Chakliar, Madari, Pakadai, all of them are
Okay,
included. But there are Dome and other communities which are not even there in that.
okay,
Actually, who are minuscule population, and none
hmm,
of us know where they live also. And
okay.
Kudirivannar. So there are few populations are not
No,
there
Tamil
visible.
Nadu, because it was British presidency, Madras presidency, they have a very comprehensive caste census data.
Mm,
Very comprehensive, even at the level of districts. So they can pull out this data like very fast. Okay, I don't think it will be a very big problem in identifying this.
mm,
Okay, because once you identify, then the grouping can be done, and then all the left schedule caste who are like backward,
mm,
okay, though they can be grouped and then they can be made into a political force. Because see,
mm.
until and unless there is a political force, no, they will not find it interesting.
Okay.
So because
Yes.
see, at the end, once it becomes a political force like Telangana, like Madhika Dandora movement has happened there.
Mm,
So then only the issues have come up. The Supreme Court has considered their views, everything.
mm. So one last thing.
Yeah.
After these many years of independence and
Uh,
reservation policy, it looks like all of them are divided, and those who representing, they are not representing the entire community. The division hasn't, it has not joined hands together. That
hmm.
looks sad for me. What is your opinion? Whether I'm right in
See,
observing?
yeah. See, the problem here is what happens is that I am seeing various community leaders. Okay, so at the end, see, they also have a subcaste attached with them. So what happens somewhere down the line? No, they start talking for their subcaste, then the whole community. This is what is happening everywhere. So the subcaste interest is also there in them.
Mm.
Okay, so but what I am telling is that they should leave all those things. Just look at the empirical data you see, and then decide whether these communities require internal reservation. But to blatantly tell that they don't require internal reservation is completely wrong.
Yes, sir. When you were highlighting empirical data, I just remember how Sahib was arguing with data always,
Yes, yes, yes.
always with data, so much data. But now Dalits who have different opinion, no
Hmm.
data, no logic, no rationality. So whichever side, but that is
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah. See,
saddening.
that is very saddening because see, what my worry is that see this, especially when we are talking of communities like Madigas or Chakliyan or other communities, they are the last in the entire developmental index. Okay, so there is no, like you, they are the last. You cannot have anything last than that. Okay, and then when you are arguing for giving reservations for those type of communities, I personally feel bad because see, there is no argument required for these communities. You go there, you will see that they are the backward. No, your data, whatever survey you do, you will find out that they are the backward. Okay, so when it is there in the name of telling that Dalit unity will be will be gone, all these things, but don't you think that if you don't do the justice, will that kid be able to come up? See, their parents, like the mother in the Madhika mother also wants her son or daughter to be educated, no? Huh? So is their aspirations met? If you don't give internal reservation, they want their kids to be engineers, they want their kids to be doctors. Okay, so see, the leaders have to take the views of everyone. And for the data is there. You go by the data, and Supreme Court is clearly telling you go by the data. Don't do whatever you think like that. This is the reason why Supreme Court has put that condition, empirical data, because they know that the politicians will misuse this for their own benefit. They will try to polarize, they'll counter polarize, and then they will instead see the entire idea is how to make those who are at the bottom come up. So that is the entire thing. And I have to tell you that Supreme Court has done a very fair order in this. It is not a very, as what is being projected, it is not a very wrong order. It's a very fair order. Okay. So because see, it is talking about like providing an opportunity for those who are at the bottom to come up. Okay. Otherwise, how will they come up? See, that is the thing, no? See, the leaders have to understand that and see what I am telling. If the empirical data is showing subcategorization, they should welcome it. Instead of that, they should stop playing all this politics over this and tell that they'll file one review petition. Review petition also, if they file, nothing great will happen. Because at the end, in the review petition also, the same order will come. Because I have seen the order is watertight. It's very tight order. I don't think anything big will be changed in this order. Until and unless you prove something contrary. And now see the empirical data is also in favor of subcategorization. If see the only argument which they can take in the court is empirical data. Now what I am seeing is all empirical data is in favor of subcategorization. If you take Minas, it is clearly showing that they are dominating the government jobs. See, my entire thing is that see, any no one single community should dominate within the scheduled caste communities. Even in other upper caste also. That is the thing. Otherwise, what will happen? They will start deciding for everybody. Okay, see, that is not the intention of the constitution also. So we need to make this more diverse. We need to include more people. Okay, we should allow more people to develop. Only then the constitutional values of equality, all those things will be met. And our leaders should understand these things. See, they should understand that subcategorization actually is from the constitution itself. So it is not coming from other places. That's what I was telling. One argument I had taken today. See, if you go purely by constitution, 3 Article 341, you have to either delete or add a scheduled caste. Will you delete the Mala community? Or will you delete the most forward community, forward SC, ST in Tamil Nadu? Will you do it? You will not do it. You will not do deletion also as per the constitution. You don't want to subcategorize also. So how will it be proper? You have to do at least one, no? Subcategorize or delete. So, see, what is happening is that people are not ready to think logically, looking at all this empirical data. So, and it is bound to happen. And finally, what will happen? It will go to the courts. Courts will test the empirical data. Again, it will uphold the subcategorization, I'm telling you. So, this is what will happen.
Sir, thank you, JB.
Thank you, thank you, thanks.